permeate throughout the rest of this month for you is I feel a lot of communication with another person. And the communication has to deal with like things on a mundane level, getting this done, getting that done. A lot of feedback that you're giving to other people or people coming to you, asking you, how to do this, how to do that. Like you're giving out a lot of technical information, a lot of technical advice. And I do feel that the people that are coming in from your end are not like usually the ones that come to you for help in the past. Okay, so I definitely feel this is more of a colleague work environment type of a situation where you might not have completely like a positive image of another person. They might have been defensive in the past and now they're coming to you and they're asking for help, they're asking for advice, or they're asking for some technical information how to do their work better. So that's something I feel coming through. There's just a lot of, and it dies down a little bit. In the middle of the month, it emerges again. And then towards the end of the month, there's even more information. So I feel that people are coming to you and kind of like unburdening themselves on you. Like, I don't know how to do this and I don't know how to progress with this. So you're kind of like playing the advice for this month, or the advisor, the people the person that gives out counsel for this month, okay? And that can be in all aspects of their lives, not just, on the work front as either. So I feel like you might be playing mediator, you might be playing the counsel, the person who gives good advice, okay? On the other hand, what I do feel as well, there is going to be communication coming back from, I feel like court situation, official documents and things like that too, coming through that needs your signature. I don't feel that it deals with like legal issues so much, but I do sense it coming through where they're going to need you to sign on the dotted line to finalize something or to move a situation along. So that's what I'm getting here. Let me see if there's anything else coming through. I feel like a lot of luck is on your side as well. What I'm getting is, I feel like it might be finance related. For a lot of you, it might be finance related. There's discussions, talks, and things like that. And I feel like, really listen to your intuition this month. I feel like it's steering you towards, where you need to be in order to attract, where you need to be in order to get things going on your end, okay? So when I get like messages about luck specifically, it basically means, your intuition is steering you to get you to be in the right place at the right time in order to come across, encounter the right person, or to be in the right place at the right time to encounter some snippet of information that can be useful for you in the future. So, for example, you always go to this one grocery store and all of a sudden you find yourself driving around. You're just like, okay, I'm going to try a different grocery store. And I feel like that's what it means. Being in the right place at the right time, being divinely guided to go somewhere where you're just meant to be, so that you can encounter someone or you can encounter a certain situation that's really beneficial for you, okay? So let's just go into your reading here, Virgos. So the first card here, we do have the Chariot as well as the Ten of Wands. The Chariot is traditionally the travel card, the voyage card, okay? And this is basically traveling, bringing all your belongings with you, possibly taking a trip. I don't see so much overseas stuff, but I definitely feel there might be an element here of gathering your belongings, possibly taking a road trip or taking like little short trips here and there. And in the process, you're going to have to bring everything on board with you, or everything has to fit in the car. So there's a major, major movement happening already. And there's like major discussions as well. I don't feel a lot of you are traveling alone. You might be traveling with another person or a group of people. And as a result of it, there's just accumulation, sheer accumulation of stuff, okay? A lot of you honestly could be moving from one house to the next, okay? So you might have like finalized a deal on a house, on an apartment, on a new place to live, and you're physically transferring your things in your car, moving into the next place. So this is like the very strong message I'm getting overall. Transferring of material, transferring of people from one place to the next, okay? So there's a huge element of transportation. The Chariot card is the major arcana. It also indicates a lot of success through self-discipline, self-mastery, okay? So if you can see, look at the two horses that's pulling the chariot. They're very opposing energies. And I do feel that this is the month in which you are going to have to harness, rather than emphasizing how you and another person might be very, very different. You're going to have to focus more on the similarities between the two of you in order to get a situation moving along, okay? In order to find harmony, in order to find balance, in order to work together as a unit to achieve something. Others of you, people might be traveling from far away to come see you. And I do feel that it's creating a little bit of a stress or strain within your housing sector. Okay, they might stay with you, they might overstay their welcome, or they might just like come in and out, darting back and forth, in and out of your household, in and out of your life. So there's a lot of transitions here when it comes to the household environment. When I look at this 10 of cards, it's sort of like the house is in the background. You're basically buying stuff for the house, fixing stuff on the house, or at least contemplating some type of renewal project that you're going to have to do. And in your head, it seems like it's a little bit daunting, but I definitely feel that it's going to be manageable. And you know how you're like the taskmaster. So you're going to be able to harness this energy in order to do some type of a possibly home repairs or renovation project or redecoration or something like that within the home environment. Now, in terms of communication, we have the Three of Swords and the Justice card. The Three of Swords is a situation where, you know, words can hurt, words can wound, and this traditionally as well deals with a separation, okay? It's linked up here with the Justice card. So first of all, the message I'm getting based on these two cards appearing next to each other is the standard message, which is this deals with a separation as a result of some court issue, okay? It could traditionally be a divorce. It could be finalizing some separation papers. It could be contemplating or even going through the process of a very drawn out court case in which, you know, it's not so much about the outcome. You just want it to be done and over with. You don't want the situation weighing over your head, ruining your sleep, you know, like, really like just you're so occupied by this situation where it's like physically hurting you. You might, for all we know, have a very, very good outcome in that court case, but I feel it's been dragged on for quite some time. For for some of you, this might have been like something that is an ongoing issue, and every few days, every few weeks, something new would creep up, and then you have to provide additional information. So I definitely feel like this is a cumbersome process. It's also something that you wish it would just end and be done and over with, okay? For others, I do feel like if you're in a work situation where you're not dealing too well with the people around you, okay? I definitely feel some supervisory or some upper management energy is going to come in and interfere with the process, or at least alleviate the process. Okay, so there have been like hurtful words exchanged back and forth between coworkers. Somebody is not doing their work. Other people are taking on more work because someone is slacking off. Or if there is a situation where there has been imbalances within the work environment, I do feel it getting cleared up, and I do feel like it's going to end in your favor. Okay, so if you've been like carrying the weight of the whole department, for example. And I know you Virgos tend to have a lot of responsibilities dumped on you. And people do take advantage of you. And I do feel if you're in a work situation that has been like less than tolerable, I do sense some upper management intervention coming through in order to rectify the situation, in order to get people their fair share. Okay, so if someone has been slacking off, they're going to be reprimanded, I feel. So there's that element coming through. The other thing I feel coming through deals specifically with communication. Okay, so let's just talk about this. When you are very upset, you can be very, very straightforward. Okay, you're not going to sugarcoat things, and you will say things as they are in order to get your point across. So be very mindful about diplomacy. Be very mindful about how to navigate a situation, or how to express your opinions in a way that is a little bit more like you can still get your point across, but you can still do it with diplomacy, with tact and skills. And I feel like that's something that's going to go further for you, okay? And a lot of the earth signs, this is a tendency for a lot of earth signs. When something upsets you, you don't bring it up right away. You think that, okay, the other person should know. And Taurus has a habit of doing this. So if something bothers you, you should, verbalize it right away. Don't let things pile on. Don't let things build up over time, because then when it comes out, when it's like the last straw, it tends to be a little bit explosive. Okay, so dealing with diplomacy and knowing how to incorporate diplomacy, tact, and things like that into the verbal discourse is going to be very important for you to get your point across without, deflating, I guess, the ego of the other party. Okay, so just be careful with that. I do feel there might be like, if you've dealt with a separation as well, a separation from a certain person, okay? And I feel like heavy air energy, so Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. If you've dealt with a separation in the past, I do feel there is some type of a reunion coming back through, okay? So I feel like some situation is being smoothed out. Some situation that might have been contentious in the past, they're going to be smoothed out for this month, which is really good. I'm going to look into the love situation later. I'm trying to keep this more on the business, professional front, and then we're going to look at love and relationships and things like that in a little bit. So, we do have here the Three of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And the Three of Wands usually indicates to me projects, things getting off the ground, things that we have been waiting for is coming in, okay? So I feel like other people might be taking a trip to come see you. They might come from far away. We have a water sign. This is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising that could potentially be coming in long distance to come see you. This could be communication coming through that from this water sign that's coming in to see you, okay? Like communication from them to you, or physically they're traversing the distance in order to come see you. I see like some type of a contact situation happening here with a water sign. What I do feel is for some of you, it could be in the work environment where you have new recruits coming in. So, a lot of people might have been let go of as a result of this rectification process. And some new people are entering the work environment, and you might have a lot on your plate. You might have a lot of responsibilities, and you're asking for, helpers, or you're asking for more people. You're asking for people to come in to help you, or you're asking for either the department to open themselves up and, take on a batch of new hires. I do feel if that's the case, you're going to encounter some really, really good positive energies in terms of the new people that are coming in. They have a very soft, really helpful, and a very nurturing energy about them. And I do sense that they're going to make the work environment very smooth and just very homey, okay? So like it's going to feel very cozy. What I'm also sensing as well is I do feel a lot of communication, a lot of people coming into your midst this month, and I definitely feel like you've got some very strong like support system via like friends, sisters, even mother figures. Even if you've had like a difficult relationship with a mother figure in the past, I do feel there is an abundance of support coming from your environment, and they're giving you some really good inspiration, some very, very good ideas as well, how to move projects ahead, okay? So if you find yourself kind of stalled and kind of like maxed out in terms of the emotional satisfaction you're getting from your work, you're going to get a new burst of energy that's going to be able to like make you feel good about where you're working. It's going to be like, it serves as confirmation or affirmation as to the route that you're on or the path that you're on, and it's going to give you validation that you are either A, on the correct path, or B, here's what you need to do to steer yourself back on the right path. So I feel like some very, very strong advice that you're either giving to people to steer them on the right path, or it's going to come to you in the most unexpected ways through like coworkers in the mundane sense, in order to like give you hope and inspiration once again for the future. So this is a really beautiful energy. So, in terms of your finances, once again, let's talk about the Nine of Pentacles. This is a situation where somebody is either self-employed or they are in a position where their money is growing for them, okay? You could be investing, you could have like portfolios for stocks and bonds and things like that, and it's growing as we speak, so you don't really have to lift a finger. And at the same time, this could be like, almost like achieving that apex of your career. You're like a very, you're in a very high order position where you have like accumulated a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills so that you can do your work really well. And you can do it fast, and as a result of it, you're going to have a lot of time for leisure activities, okay? So to me, this seems like a lot of people are coming through you, for you. You might be taking trips, you might be taking vacation. They might come see you to take vacation, so you're getting a lot of leisure time, like a lot of downtime, in order to be present with another person. What I do feel is a lot of you might be taking vacation and you want it to be relaxing. You don't want to deal with other people. You just want to relax and be on your own. And I do feel other people, once again, bringing in the strife, okay? I do sense that there's going to be a little bit of a jarring communication coming through from other people. And the people seem to me to be very, very frazzled, meaning that they've got a lot of things going on in their lives. They're trying to make sense of everything, and they're also like battling the elements, and they don't know how to do things the proper way. They don't know how to follow protocol and procedures. You might also be in a supervisory or in a training capacity where you're showing them, hey, don't do that. That's not the smart way or the right way to do it. They might be a little bit combative, and they might say like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know best. And so there's a little bit of a defensiveness coming through from other people. And then you're going to have to like, it wears on your patient, and then you're going to have to like put them in their place. I feel what's really important here is if you're in a capacity where you say what you need to say, and then if they don't listen, I do feel they're going to catch themselves like making mistakes, and then they're going to have to pay for it either way. So some things are better left alone because people tend to learn things the hard way, okay? And if you're dealing with more like people who are very fired up, and especially younger people who are just like very, very adamant about doing things a specific way, and they feel as if they know best. It's through trial and error, people actually learn best. So, it's best for you to just detach from the situation and let them handle it their way, okay? So don't stress out over what other people are doing is my advice here for this month, because there's a lot of people, I feel, in the midst, and they might feel like they know best. You might know better, but it's best for people to just figure things out on their own, okay? Now, in terms of the advice, what I do have here is we have the Judgment card, which indicates brand new beginnings for you. This also indicates like communication. People who are like-minded are coming together, and they're heeding a greater calling, okay? So I feel a lot of cooperation, actually, that will be coming through for you. And I do sense, despite whoever this person might be, I feel like they're working under you, or at least you're training them. So I definitely feel that everyone on board will be on board, or everyone is at least cooperating, okay? So there's going to be this situation where it indicates like family contact, communication coming through, or everyone getting together in a like-minded manner, like-minded spirit. If you have recently left a work situation, I definitely feel a new job coming through for you, okay? So this is indicative of, usually when I see it, is a very, very new beginnings when it comes to income generation, okay? So a lot of you might start a side gig, or you might have investment that really starts to pan out, to really pay off for you, okay? This can also indicate a financial windfall as well, but I feel like if you've been absolutely, just miserable in a work environment, and you are thinking about looking for new work, I definitely feel this is the right time for you to start looking, because we're getting contact, we're getting renewal, we're getting like new energies coming through, we're getting new jobs, and we're possibly getting like a new person who's very like a new person who like a supervisor or somebody who is giving you advice or dishing out advice. They are very, very wise. They're very unbiased, and they know what they're talking about, okay? And they're very no nonsense as well. They don't know how to sugarcoat, or they prefer not to sugarcoat. They just, give you the truth, undiluted truth. So whether or not you're asking for it, I definitely feel this is something that is coming up in the cards, and I do sense it's going to be very good for you to ally yourself, okay? So what I feel both, all three of these cards appearing together here is what it's telling me is if there's something that you are procrastinating on, and I don't feel that, Virgos, you're the taskmaster. I don't feel that you procrastinate on anything. But when it comes to like major, big life choices, everyone has their own hesitations, okay? So what it's telling you here is that if you're looking for a change, if you're looking for like some major turnaround in a situation, take a risk is what it's telling me. You've like I feel like you've thought about something, you've ruminated over something for quite some time. You have the expertise and the skills in order to do the job, but I feel a lot of hesitation. So I feel like there might be a new role that opens up in the work environment. It pays a lot more. It's going to put you in a position of high authority and status as well. You don't really care much for it, but it pays well. It gives you like high authority and status. And I feel like this is your life's calling. This is what the angels and the divine is pushing you towards, okay? Because a lot of you enjoy working behind the scenes. You really, really enjoy it, and you're very good at it. And I feel like you're the person, the go-to person for damage control. If someone messes something up, and you're like the fixer. You come into a situation, you make all the problems go away. And I feel like because of that personality, you enjoy working behind the scenes. You don't really care about the spotlight. But it's telling you that sometimes you need to like be in a position of in that spotlight to prevent to prevent accidents or to prevent errors from happening in the first place. You need to be the one that is monitoring, that is surveilling the situation to prevent these accidents, to avert these crises to begin with. So you are very, very good for an upper management or even like as working as a consultant, okay? So I feel like some of you might have new consultancy gigs coming through. You might be an advisor. You might be giving out a lot of advice and technical advice as to how someone can do something better, okay? So I feel like for those of you who have thought about this for a long time, you might have recently left a job and taken on like either a consultancy role where you're self-employed. A lot of you have you're getting inspiration to start your own business, to start your own job, and I hope a lot of you have taken up the advice and have gone with it because the energy is echoing the same themes. So very good, Virgos. Let's go to your love readings and see what's going on for you guys. So once again, I shuffle these cards a lot off screen, excuse me. So they're ready to go, but I'm going to give it a quick shuffle one more time. And for the other signs, I use the Paulina Cassidy deck, the Joie de Vivre deck, but I'm traveling and I forgot to bring them with me. So I'm using these again, and I'm not going to read reversals with them, okay? It's easier to read without the reversals for this deck. So let's just see what's in store for Virgos, love and relationships. Well, let me just say, it's a very, very good time to be a single Virgo. Okay. Um, one more. Okay. So I'm just gonna say it's a really, really good time actually if you're single looking and if you're single and you're just like if this person is interested in me and things like that, I'm getting definite confirmation of a yes. So let's just talk about this, and then I'm gonna look at the other cards I pulled out in a little bit in context. Okay. So I feel like a lot of you might be newly single. Okay. First of all, in the recent past, we have the World card. The World card in this context, it basically means kind of like a little bit of restriction. Okay. So if you look at it, it's somebody who is single, who is kind of like waiting for the knight in shining armor or waiting for the one. And you can see this little this hourglass in the background. It means that she has been waiting for quite some time. Okay, and she's waiting. This is more of a receptive energy where she's waiting for the Mr. or Mrs. Right to come into her life and to change her life and to transform her world. A lot of you who are single right now, you're in a very, very good place, I feel, financially. A lot of you seem to be very established. You've got, like, everything at your disposal, meaning you've got wealth, you've got good health, you've got beauty, you've got a lot of abundance in your life, and you're not really actively going out there to seek people. You're waiting for the right one to enter. And it seems almost as if you're a little bit tired of waiting. And you might have like waited, and the wrong people, a series of wrong people have come in, and you didn't even give them the time of day, which is fine. But I feel like in the recent past, a lot of you have been complacent and you waited, and now you're taking a step out into the world to expand your social circle, to expand your network in order to attract more people. So I feel like more of a fiery energy with a lot of you guys, a lot of you Virgo singles this month, where you are going out trying to collaborate with other people, trying to either resort to, like a helper, like resort to a middleman in order to get your love life in the right situation. And what I mean by this is like going on and organize like speed dating, going on using a website like to actually look for dates. That's going through a third party, going through a third channel in order to get something done, okay? And you feel like that's probably the most efficient way to do it. There is a little bit of frustrating energy with this as well because you feel, I feel almost as if you're screening out the either the opponents or you're screening out the options that are coming through for you. You're looking at it very, very methodically. Whatever you write down on paper, whatever person that comes your way, you're looking at them with a lot of scrutiny. So you're giving a lot of thought and a lot of I feel like a little bit of hesitation as well with the new options that are coming through. What's crowning you here is the communication card. This is traditionally called the arrows of love, where you're inundated with a lot of options, where people are like hitting you left and right, and they're asking you, let's go on dates, let's go out, let's meet up, let's at least, build a friendship. So this is something that you are thinking about, okay? So I feel like for those who are single, you might have just like waited and then been disappointed, and now you're actually like getting out into the dating front, and this is what you're hoping for. You're hoping for a lot of options, a lot of choices. And what it's telling me here is those things are not happening just yet. They're not happening just yet. So I feel for those of you, you're hoping for this, but what I feel is you're getting more of the emotional people who are rushing in very, very quickly, and they tend to burn out, they tend to fizzle out, okay? So you're screening your options extra carefully, especially going in for this month. Now, the foundation here, we do have the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is basically getting away with something. In this context, it's almost like having a lot of options and then not knowing what to do with them, or like overbooking your schedule, or overscheduling, like scheduling in 2 dates in one day, and then one date runs over over the time limit, and then you have to rush to the next one, or you have to like come up with some type of an excuse in order to appease the next person so that they see you in a positive light. Okay, this is not done, if this is not done by you, I feel like it could potentially be something that is done to you from an air sign. So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Okay, because of the sword energies, it's coupled up here with the Nine of Swords, and I feel like this is something that might have happened to you. And as a result of it, you're feeling a little bit jaded at this point, okay? And you're just like, well, I did a really, really stringent narrowing down process, and I still ended up with somebody like this. So I don't even know what to do at this point. So my advice here is don't get jaded over this. Give it more time, because it's telling me the options are definitely there, but it's not exactly what you expected, okay? It's not exactly like the way that you anticipated. So you're going to have to give people the benefit of the doubt, and you're going to have to give things more time. So in terms of what's coming in, I feel you are changing your strategy once more. So I feel like rather than, going with the top of the top, and then devoting, like putting all your eggs in one basket and devoting your time exclusively to one person, and then feeling as if, oh, they might have like turned me down for another offer or something like that. I feel that you might be dividing your time between multiple people. So that means, socially dating quite a few people, and then going through, that whole round of dating, like 5, 6 dates before you decide to take things to the next level, which I feel is the right thing to do. And it's the smart thing to do. It's all a numbers game. So if you can, do that, I definitely feel you should do it. Okay, don't put your eggs in one basket, especially if you're like socially dating and you're just starting out. It takes a really long time to get to know somebody on a deep level. So scatter your time getting to know somebody, and having like multiple options is actually not a bad thing if you are not committed to any one of them, or if you have not told them you're committed to any one of them. I think that's a good way to go. What it's linked up here with is the Ten of Wands. So I feel like you might be doing this, and then you might find yourself like, oh, I have so much responsibilities, or there's so many people. My schedule is all filled in. I don't really have time for myself. So I feel like that's the case that's happening here. The Ten of Wands deals with like a big burden. It also deals with a situation where we are afraid to open up as well. Okay, so I feel it's almost like you've gotten out of relationships in the past. You have waited for the right person, and the person's not coming in fast enough. So you're getting impatient. So you're putting yourself out there, and you might have been like burned. And this might be something coming through as well. If you're dealing with an air sign, be a little bit careful. They seem to me like a little bit flaky. Okay, so Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And then as a result, you are putting your energy out, and seeing, going through with multiple options, and then you find yourself a little bit overtaxed. Okay, so that's what I feel happening for the singles. I do feel fire sign for singles, air signs and fire sign. The fire sign seems a little bit more stable. The fire sign's a little bit more consistent. Okay, they might be very, very busy. Fire signs are popular, but they might overbook their schedule as well. So you might encounter a situation where there is a mismatch in somebody's schedule, yours and theirs, in order to get things off the ground in a stable way. So I feel air sign a little bit flaky, fire sign that is consistent, but they seem very, very busy. So it might be difficult to meet. Okay, and a lot of you might have left behind like a water sign. I feel like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in the past. Okay, so let's look at for the couples. I do feel couples are working together very harmoniously, okay, building something of value together. Once again, I feel like with the coupled people, there's a lot of work interference. So this basically means like a lot of either work that is taking you or your partner away. There's a lot of like day-to-day maintenance type of an energy. Okay, this is like doing maintenance work, cleaning the house, taking out the trash, doing the dishes, maintenance on the car, and it does take away from the things that you're doing. So I definitely feel like a lot of people are coming in, possibly visiting. A lot of you are possibly like even traveling as well. There is the travel card as well. So I definitely feel like one person might be traveling and you're getting long distance communication coming in from your partner, and there's timing mismatch as to when you can communicate on the phone. So I definitely feel like the coupled is definitely very, very stable. Okay, the coupled relationships, but there might be just a little bit of like mismatch in schedule, in responsibilities. One person is inundated with a lot of work, and it could be you. It could be you. And but I feel like together you're all working very harmoniously to build up something of value. You might be linked up with another earth sign, and in that case, I feel that it is very, very stable. Okay, it is very stable. I feel like it's not a third party interfering so much. It's more like work responsibilities, everyday things that are building up over time. Okay. I actually didn't go through this, but with the world card, we have like the world card indicates like a lot of travel opportunities, a lot of people from different walks of life as well, like foreigners coming through. And it's linked up with the Three of Wands, which indicates like, you were waiting on something, you were potentially single as well, you're waiting on something, or you are in a couple and you're waiting on either family coming to visit, coworkers, friends, and things like that. So there's a lot of social obligations as well, like social arrangements, social obligations. And once again, we're getting the travel card. So even for those in a coupled relationship, you have sailed over a major, major hurdle, a major milestone in the relationship, and now you're expanding. You're thinking potentially about bringing a child into the picture, because the three deals with expansion, and it's also three people within that relationship. So it leads me to believe that it might be like, possibly thinking about adoption, thinking about incorporating another family member, taking in elderly parents and things like that. And I do feel there is a heavy energy here with somebody, like I feel like, somebody talking to your spouse or talking to you. It could be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, thinking that you're single or thinking that the spouse or the significant other is single. So I see some meddling, but it's more like we have somebody who doesn't know the whole picture, but they're not, conniving or anything like that. And we do have a lot of like work and family situations as well. But I do feel the relationship is very, very stable. It's very solid. Okay. So Virgos, I do wish you the best. Please take care of yourself. If you like a private reading, please visit my website. The information is in the description box below. I've also put up a donation link as well. So I'd appreciate it if you feel this reading has been helpful. So the link is in the description box as well, okay? So take care of yourself. I'll be back for the mid-month reading. Bye-bye.